Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls' and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, chair of the Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did.
All rise for this week's Judicial Minute with Christopher Candela.
I'm Christopher Candela, and I'm running to be your next Circuit Court Judge here in Livingston County. Today we're talking about what a prosecutor does and why prosecutors are uniquely qualified to serve on the bench. A prosecutor stands in the courtroom every day, seeking justice. We work with law enforcement, review evidence, protect the rights of victims, and ensure that every defendant receives due process under the law. In fact, the prosecutor is the only attorney in the courtroom whose duty is not to win, but to seek justice. That experience makes prosecutors uniquely suited to serve as judge. Throughout my career, I've handled countless cases, from jury trials to appeals before the Michigan Supreme Court, and have seen firsthand how decisions impact victims, families, defendants, and our community. To learn more, visit CandelaForJudge.com, follow the campaign on social media, and on Election Day, remember, vote Candela for Circuit Court Judge.
I'm an attorney who goes to work every day to fight for our community and defend our Constitution. My name is Christina Like, and now I want to be your next Circuit Court Judge. And that means ensuring our constitutional rights are protected, protecting the innocent lives of our children, making decisions based upon rule of law and not politics, making court more affordable, and always placing the people first.
Someone once said, where your treasure goes, there also will be your heart. What kind of world do you want to invest in? Do your investments fund industries that tempt people to harm relationships? What if you could be more intentional with your money? What if your investments built content that enriched others' minds? Jason Huntley, CFP, has been guiding families for 30 plus years to plan, invest, and build for the next generation. Scan the QR code now to make that first step to investing intentionally.
Well, you can tell I'm operating the technology. You kept saying flashes of me because I don't have Tyler here who's like on the money with that stuff, or Caleb who learned very quickly. It's me, which means it's going to fumble here and there. Good evening. Welcome to the June 9th version of The Right Side. I appreciate everybody coming back from the vacation last week. I fully intended on having one. I was in Florida. I had 4 grandsons in a car and drove south. It was a grandma's dream cruise, so we had a good time. But the remote, I had some remote schedules, guests last week, then that didn't work out. So, okay, we took a vacation, but we're back, and here we are 9 days into June. Yike, where is the time going? I can't tell if I really got a nice tan in Florida or if these lights aren't working right, so I'm just going with the tan.
So we have tonight will be serious discussion because there's stuff we need to talk about. We just do. We have to I usually have a mouse here, but since I am doing the computer, I don't have the mouse. So, all right, well, we have stuff to talk about, and I have Ralph Rebant coming in. He's gonna zoom in to talk to us about what happened, and I witnessed it. It was a circus. It was very bad. So, and well, when he gets here, I'll let him tell you about what happened. So let's say hello. And of course, my very first guest every single week, or my very first poster is Mark. Good afternoon, Mark. Good evening, Mark. Yes, the pastor is awesome. And that would be no, I'm not the most important person in Livingston County. That is goofy. I can be the most important to you. That's fine. But not the most important. A lot more important people here than me. It's just my job to get them elected. That's all. I was out today at Wilson Estates Winery in the Stockbridge area there on Kane Road. Hello, Matt Stafford. Are you the Matt Stafford running for office? Somebody just talked about you to me yesterday. So in Macomb County, I believe. Is it Macomb District? Wait, let me think. 11, 12? I don't remember. But I just had somebody talk to me about you yesterday. So if that's you. Hello from Roscommon. Well, hello, Roscommon Republicans. Glad to see you. We're happy to have you here. Hi, Matt. So, yep, just loving new people showing up every single week. Loving it. Hoping to come in to talk to Ralph when he gets here. But we also have just a bunch of stuff. Today I was out at Wilson Estates and looking at the last minute. We have Brian Ignatowski. Now, if you're not aware of that race, it is important. It's huge. Whether you live in District 48 or not, it is huge. Why? Because we're going to yank it from a Democrat. That's Livingston County. It's the most, it's our Livingston County Republican Party. It is our it's our priority race. We're putting everything we've got into it. And we're hosting a big fundraiser. Actually, I should probably bring it up. Big fundraiser for Brian Ignatowski, who is going to yank that seat from one screwball Democrat rep, Jennifer Conlon, who gets legislation that votes against her own legislation. Yikes. So let me see. Image file. Let me get up Brian's thing here. So give me a second. But tomorrow we're going to have podcast picks. It would be there, correct? Yes, it would. I thought it would be there. Anyway, tomorrow at Wilson Estates. Well, for Pete's sakes, where is it? Every other flyer under the sun here. Oh well, I'll get it on when I'm on commercial. I'll dig it up. And we're going to have Wilson Estates. It's $100 a person. It is a winery. It's a beautiful winery, and we're going to have hors d'oeuvres out there and live music, and it's just wonderful. So wonderful for Brian, and so I'm encouraging everybody. So let's see, we got Matt. Yes, District 11. Wahoo! See, when you get my age, people start telling you about your memory going. But look at that, I did it. All right, and then Mr. Jurick, Commissioner Jurick. Hello from the city of Howell. Hi, Jay. All right, well, it looks like Ralph is here, so I'm going to bring him on. And here we go. Here's Ralph. He's texting somebody. He said, just a minute.
Greetings.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Dad.
Right. Well, boo-hoo. I got to tell you, that was the first time I ever watched. That's the first time I ever watched a Board of Canvassers, the State Board of Canvassers in action. And I get the idea that this can't have been going on this long. That was the screwiest situation I have ever seen. To me, it should have been, it was violating everybody's constitutional rights. So I'm going to let you kind of talk about what happened, just kind of update everybody what happened and what you saw, and then I'll kind of editorialize on it myself.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on, Deb. I appreciate it. The encouraging thing is this is true. Everything that I had scheduled to speak at as a governor candidate, the county chairs, the local chairs, they're all asking me to come and share what happened. So this is a good opportunity to get it to a much wider audience, and I appreciate that. Everybody has to get 15,000 valid signatures, and we collected over 20,000. And our team spent, I would say, probably the better part of 5 days. Let me turn this dinger off here. The better part of 5 days, and sometimes going till 2 a.m, going through all of those signatures. We went line by line, and we crossed out at least 1,500, maybe 2,000 that there's a blank or somebody put their birthday instead of the day they signed, those typical things.
Sure.
And so when we turned them in, we turned in 18,214. I'll remember that till the day I die. But we turned in that amount, and we're very confident that there's
very confident. Yeah. Okay.
Very confident there's 15,000 good ones. But as you know, that we received the letter on May 20th from the Bureau of Elections, and they said you don't have enough sufficient. My heart dropped, and I'm like, this is not true. I wonder how they came up with that. So then we find out they had a 750 sample signature out of our 18,000, and I'm like, I've never heard of that in my life. How does that happen? What, I'm thinking, as we had to request what was going on. I mean, they just gave us a report with notations on it, no signatures, no nothing. So it took a day to FOIA that, and pay our money, get that from them. And then there were things that they didn't share, which they said we can't give you all the information. And so that raised a red flag. And so I figured Kevin Kiefsky, who ran for Attorney General, I give him a shout, see if he's willing to help. And thank God he was. And so we jumped into it. He spent the weekend going through it. We were able to get the signatures and the notations. They didn't even give us the notations. I mean, they would say IC or IS. We have no idea what that means. So we had to, search the internet for it. Very unhelpful. But the bottom line is Kevin went through it, and he found out of their 217 invalid ones, he said there's at least 100 good ones here. I'll give you an example, and it'd take too long to give them all, and we weren't able to actually compare the signatures, but there were about 85, I think, that they said incomplete signature. So we went through line by line looking at them, and we don't know if the signatures were accurate or not. That's all that we were asking when we met before the Board of Canvassers. Give us 2 days, give us Friday and Monday to go to the local clerks and verify what you're saying is actually accurate. Well, I'll give you an example of an incomplete signature. There was a fellow who signed it T period, and I don't know if it was Jones or James, whatever it was, but it was T period JAMES. That was his signature. His printing name is the exact same thing. There are people who don't know how to write cursive. They don't know how to write their name in cursive.
I know. They're not taught anymore.
So that's one that was dinged. I mean, that was really obvious. I'm like, this is really strange. So anyway, Kevin came up with 100 or so more that would have been good, which would have put us on the ballot. So we presented to, the Bureau of Elections. They give us their reasons why they're not legit. And all we did is we came back, as I said, to the Board of Canvassers on the 28th and said, look, can we have 2 days to go back and get this thing verified? Well, the answer was, do we have time to do that? They're looking at you. I mean, you saw it, right?
Yeah, it was the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen.
Exactly. They should have known that, yes, we have time. And it makes me think that it was just a scam, like they had made their decision in committee before they even came out. But they were asking.
My impression as well.
So the bottom line is, you'll probably remember this statement. Well, that if we let you go back to the county clerks to compare signatures, boy, that might open a can of worms, or Pandora's box. That was the word they used, Pandora's box. And I'm thinking, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need some accountability from the Bureau of Elections.
Wow. I know.
And then Jonathan Brader said, Mr. Rebant, what your problem was, you needed to turn in more signatures. And I was thinking in my head, no. What you needed to do was your job. You needed to look at every signature.
Yes.
To be honest with you,
I don't think it was yours. I think it was someone else who was fighting it prior to yours. And
yeah, Kim Thomas, Democrat.
The woman actually said, "Well, you don't think we have time to go through every single signature, do you?" And I went,
yeah.
What? Yeah, I could see maybe, I don't like the sample nonsense, but I could maybe see the sample to, bring out a probability. But once it's challenged, it is their responsibility then to go back and double check whatever it is you challenge. I did not see them do that.
Right.
And and they made a big deal out of it. Like, why would you think we would do that? That's not our job.
Right. Yeah. I was just blown away. And, we went in with the philosophy, let's take their sampling and let's consider it and let's challenge it. Well, they wouldn't even let us challenge it. I mean, it's like, this is our job. We did it right. And what raises so many red flags? There were notations out of district, which you probably remember them saying that. And when you're running a statewide campaign, there's no such thing as something out of district.
No.
There were things labeled.
It would be out of district if you're the page. Don't you have to do it by county?
Yes.
Okay, so if it said Livingston and someone from Oakland County, that would be out of district. No, it makes that.
Actually, that would be wrong city. IC.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If you look up out of district, it means that.
I just thought that would be the. That's how I would read it. But okay, yeah. Screw it.
Yeah. So anyway, we challenged it, and the board said no, we don't have a problem here. And honestly, it was a huge disappointment. So then as I said, we got Kevin on it. Kevin found good signatures. He's like, Ralph, we got a really good case here if they let us go back and compare. Well, They never did. I also, I don't know what you think about Pat Colbeck, but I sent Pat Colbeck the sampling that they did of mine, and he said the same thing. He said, Ralph, you've got 100 more signatures. He ran it through an AI signature verification computer program, no human eyes on it, but an AI. And we're going to this meeting saying it's a slam dunk. Well, we don't want to open a Pandora's box. So that was their phrase. So then we went to, we appealed to the Court of Appeals. And what happened there is we found out on Saturday night that the 750 sample procedure is in their policy manual, the Bureau of Elections policy manual. It's not in law. It's not in rules. It's a policy manual. So in 2023, the Bureau of Elections said, we probably need some teeth behind this sampling process. So let's go to the legislature and get them to pass a bill that Whitmer can sign. So they went to the legislature. The legislature, Democrat and Republican House and Senate, said, we like that idea. The sampling's fine, which blows my mind because you could keep anybody out if you cherry pick the sheets. If you found enough sheets with enough mistakes in it, then this person's off. So anyway, we found out that they had, got the bill passed. They sent it to Governor Whitmer in 2025, January. She vetoed it. This was never approved. This was never law. This was never put into cement, as it were. And so she vetoed it. And some of the reasons that she said make 100% sense. First of all, there's enough questions about the election integrity. We don't want to raise more questions by just doing a sampling. Secondly, what if you sample 750 signatures for a candidate that are good and the rest of them are invalid?
That's right.
So she's our I
don't usually agree with her, so that makes me feel hinky, but no, she's right on that one.
That's exactly where I was.
Squirrel,
Yeah, I don't want to get too far off track. Let me check the time here. We got a few more minutes left before I've got to get on my next Zoom. But, I thought to myself, I remember people asking me, in gubernatorial forums, is there anything that Whitmer's done that you would change? I've said probably everything. But, this was a legitimate good observation on her part. And so she said this won't become law. And she gave the same reasons that we would from the reverse. What if you took 750 that you think are bad, the rest are good? So anyway, we appealed to the Court of Appeals. They basically said, we're sticking with the good old boys network. We've done it this way. And that's kind of what they were saying by their ruling. We don't see anything here that we need to support you, Ralph, as a governor candidate. So then we appealed to the Supreme Court. And of course, their answer was, we don't need to get involved in this. It's not, something that we want to mess with. So here we are today. Had a Zoom call with a national attorney. What are our next steps? There's several that we could do. One is we could file in federal court. The problem with that is when this happened in 2022, it took 9 months for them to respond.
Oh, Lord.
So it's a dead issue. The problem with the federal court is that they have a couple options. I won't take the time to go through it, but more than likely they would say it's a moot issue now. Here we are 9 months later addressing your issue. And that's a waste of time and money. The federal court might say, well, that's a state issue. I mean, there are a lot of reasons that though we could take that path, it's not going to be fruitful. Another path we could take is to file for damages.
Mm-hmm.
Get a jury, get a jury to hear the case. And Deb, I'm convinced a jury would side with me.
I don't know how they wouldn't.
I know. Here's one of the main reasons. Not only is it not law, not only did they ask for it to become law, and it was not Whitmer vetoed it,
Denied.
but it's also really unfair and unjust, because if you take 750 out of 30,000, that's 2.5%. If you take 750 out of 18,214, it's 4.2, 4.4%. I don't remember the exact number. It's a higher standard for me. They gave me a higher standard than they did Jocelyn Benson or the other candidates who turned in 30,000. If they were going to be fair to me, they would say, well, let's use a percentage. And that would have meant they looked at 455 signatures, not 750. And the odds of me winning that would have, I'm sure it's there. And in fact, I've had people who deal with statistics and this type of thing. And they said, you cannot rely on a 750 sample, a one time. Maybe if you do two, and then if it's different, or you do, then you got one says it's invalid, one says it's valid, do a third to really compare. But they were unable to do that. And it makes me wonder about their transparency, because not only did they hide stuff in the FOIA, but they wouldn't let us compare the local clerks with their signatures. So it smells rotten.
Oh yes, it reeks. It just reeks. It is, and I'm sorry that it happened. It's just, reason number 3016 to get a Republican legislature and a Republican majority to get all that stuff undone. That's just horrible. I mean, it is their responsibility. I can see using a sampling if it's, if it catches something, then okay, make them, then you give them the opportunity to make it good then. And if that means they have to have people go through it with them, then that's what they have to do. But just being, when that one woman said, you really expect us to go through all these? I thought, yeah.
That's their job. That's their job.
I mean, who else would go through it? But Ralph, I'm sorry it happened. I know you can read the comments there that many people are very sorry. They're upset about what happened, and they're throwing their support your way, and it's just a lot of comments here, a lot of people that are disappointed in this. But so what's next? What's next for you then?
Well, that was part of the discussion today too. We're not ready to reveal what our plans are, but I'm sorry, Deb. I'd love to share with you, but a lot of people are saying a bunch of different things. Go to court, take it. Excuse me 1 second.
Okay.
That tells me I got 5 minutes or less.
Okay.
But a lot of people are saying take it to court. You'll win. You'll get your money back, all the money that the campaign's invested. People are saying run for lieutenant governor, talk to somebody about being lieutenant governor. People are saying do a write-in. I mean, there are a lot of people upset about this. In fact, a gal in Kansas City, Missouri called me yesterday and said, hey, Ralph, how's the campaign going? And she had been in touch with me during the during the momentum when, I won the Ottawa debate and then just recently, Ottawa's endorsement convention endorsed me as their candidate for governor if I'm on the ballot. It's just she knew that, but she didn't know anything about this. And she's like, are you kidding me? We need to get a national attorney on. And I have several national attorneys that I communicate with from the Council for National Policy.
Sure.
So I'm looking for a little more advice and wisdom.
Well, when you make up your mind, your next step, I'm hoping that I'll get an email or a text from you telling me, okay, time to bring me back on the podcast. I'd love to have you announce it here, or at least, early on,
I appreciate that.
talk about your plans here. Cause you can see there's a bunch of people that are enjoying, hearing from you. So we'll all be waiting.
We are not, at the convention, I said I was there before the cameras showed up and I'll be there when the cameras leave. And that's my attitude, especially on this issue now. I need to work to get that sampling procedure, which is not law, which is not rules. It's just a policy manual. You need to make sure that gets swapped, because this should never happen to anybody. The four panelists up there, the supposedly 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, they basically overrode that. I mean, they're unelected bureaucrats, appointed bureaucrats who overrode 17,997 other good signatures, assuming that their 217 were accurate, which I would never grant that to them, because they may have 80 to 100 that were inaccurate, but even that's a high number, because we went through them. And one last thing, Deb, we went through this whole process, the exact same process in 2022, except we didn't know that I don't think they were doing sampling. I don't know what they did in 2022. They did not admit to that. They admitted to sampling on, ballot proposals, but not on ballot access, which is another huge difference. And nobody said that I have fraudulent signatures. That's the difference between now and 2022.
Right.
I had no fraudulent signatures.
Happened to catch it, I guess. Yeah. Something's wrong.
All right. Well, I hate to run.
Nope, I get it. I get it. Please keep in touch, and please keep us in mind to let us know what's next.
Indeed. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work.
Bye-bye. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, that was disappointing. Here's Randy saying that they absolutely did sampling in 2022. Yes, they did. I believe they did. Perry Johnson showing support for Ralph is maybe so, Matt. That could be. Yeah, Trish, I think this is it is terrible. It is terrible. I just want to make sure I got everybody here. Yeah, a lot of people, well, except for some reason we have. Yes, all right. Well, anyway, yeah, it is very, very disappointing to hear that Ralph is, off. And so, but I think he'll be the first to tell you God works in mysterious ways, and he has a plan for everything. And sometimes when we're on a path and he wants us on something else, whap, out of nowhere, the path gets shifted. And maybe that was it. Maybe's not the word. Definitely. If it happened, then there's a reason for it. Randy thinks Perry's looking for Ralph's voters. Well, that may be true, but you're saying that as though that's not why you pick a lieutenant governor. I mean, every single, hi Caleb, why aren't you here? Look at me. I'm doing my own stuff. That's why governors pick lieutenant governors, because they want the votes they can bring, or they want the financial support they want to bring, or they want the supporters. That's why. So when you say they just looks for Ralph voters, that's kind of why they pick. It's why all governors pick their seconds. I'm anxious to see, because we're getting closer here. I'm anxious to see kind of who the proposed. Randy, when do they release their proposed lieutenants? Is it after the primary? Is it after the primary winner? That's when they say it. To me, if I were going to run for governor, I'd be releasing that ahead of time, especially if that person could bring some votes, because maybe somebody didn't like the governor candidate or gubernatorial candidate, but maybe they like the vice chair. So, that might be a reason to vote. who knows? But it's just, I'm sorry that it happened. By the way, just want to say, and then we have, I haven't got a clue how do you pronounce that. Brickyanarendt. Jesus is king. Indeed. Okay, so we have, as for PJ, we all know who his lieutenant's governor is, and it's not Ralph. Okay. Well, there's speculation, we'll say that. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I said, if I had a really strong lieutenant governor, I might want to release that ahead of time just to kind of put it out there, because it might give somebody an extra reason. Don't know. If I didn't have a good lieutenant governor candidate, then maybe I wouldn't, but I just think it would be interesting. So back, once again, we got Brian Ignatowski's event tomorrow. And before I say anything more, if you have the fact the left are willing to support a literal Nazi and women abuser while attacking Trump is total hypocrisy. I agree. So we were talking about Brian's event tomorrow. If you can, we're flipping a dem. So if anybody can make it out there, we'd love to have you. We would absolutely love to have you. It's at Wilson Estates. Show up. It's going to be a great event. Ryan Kelly in 22 is one of the first to announce his lieutenant governor candidate was prior to the primary. Most wait till after. Who was it? Bricky on a rant is how you. Oh, look at that. All right, Bricky on a rant. Who is Bricky? What's your name? Who are you? Am I talking to somebody I know or not? All right, so Ryan Kelly, Brandy, who was Ryan's lieutenant governor candidate? I saw an announcement, but I wasn't from him. I think you know what I'm talking about. There was an announcement made about Ryan Kelly's lieutenant governor, but I don't think Ryan made it. Matter of fact, the way I remember it, Ryan unmade it. Seems like, didn't Carla Wagner announce she was going to be Ryan's lieutenant? Anyway, Randy, when you get a second, kind of fill us in on that little statement. That's kind of funny. So, Brian Ignatowski tomorrow. So anybody can come, make sure you do that. So let's chat. I did an article. Are you guys ever, anybody here reading the Right Side News? We do this Policy, the Right Side podcast, but we also have a website called the website, the Right Side News. And it's www.therightside.news.com. And it is matter of fact, let's do that. Let me show it to you and I'll share it. So, hang on. All right, let me go here and I shall share the screen right here. Right here. So, share. That's the Right Side News right there. And you can see up there, home and articles and opinion. That's where you get all the, that's where all the, let's see if I can get there. There. Yeah, see? All these things hopefully you can see these and not just, let me see. No, I just see myself. Where is the sharing of the screen? I don't know why that doesn't work. I'm hoping you see that. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. It just never works. But anyway, therightside.news.com. All the articles and all kinds of articles about different things that a lot of people don't know. I try to fill in people. Okay, so we have, I'm a bricklayer from England with based Christian beliefs. Are you in England now? Or are you living here and you were from England? Heartland voters. Ryan announced at a state convention but can't remember her name. Jamie Swafford. I don't know Jamie Swafford. Okay. Michelle read the article. That's the one about the nonpartisan races, I assume. That was a great article. Yes, thank you. Carla, oh yes. Carla was looking. Well, Brick, don't leave until you tell me if you're in England, because you'll get the prize for the farthest away that watches this. So we have Carla was looking for that spot from day one, never consideration. Yes, I remember hearing that. I am in England now. Oh my God, the Northeast. I don't think I've ever had anybody from England watch. So thank you so much for checking in. And, you know, we're here every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So good night and thanks for stopping in. Yes, Carla Wagner, I understood she announced she was going to be the lieutenant governor and or replace Ryan or something when Ryan had to end his run, and that didn't go well. So yeah, she was the ethnic. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I knew the name, but I didn't know who she was. So we have so yeah, I feel like that would, you know, any of these gubernatorial candidates really ought to be naming their vice chairs right now, or their lieutenant governors right about now. I feel like, why wait? You just, you know, you get buy-in, you get extra buy-in from those people's supporters, especially if they have them. So I would love to see that. What else? So I did bring up the Right Side News. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Trish, for the comments on the article today. It was basically, today's article was, is nonpartisan the same as non-political? And the answer is, oh no, it is absolutely not the same. Nonpartisan, and you know, you go ahead and read the article and you'll get a little bit more in depth. But nonpartisan basically means it's not set on a partisan part of the ballot. That's what it means. You cannot vote straight ticket and also do nonpartisan ticket. You have to vote separately there. But judges have to be careful. They can't talk about Republican or Democrat. But when you go to city councils or school board members and those people that hide behind that, it is, you absolutely have the right to do that. And I mean, and when they tell you, and this is my big red flag, when I ask a candidate, a nonpartisan candidate, what party do you belong to? And what they first thing out of their mouth usually is, well, it's a nonpartisan race. So it doesn't mean you're non-political. It just means it's not on the ballot as a partisan race. So when they dodge that, that's telling me, like, and I think I quoted it in the article by saying, you might as well just come out with a mask, right? You cannot, you know, if they don't tell you, there's a reason they're not telling you. They don't want to get into it. They don't want to argue. Well, in my case, you know, Livingston County is very Republican, right? So there's a good chance if you're a Republican and you say you're Republican, you're going to be okay. And if you're talking to me, I'm a known Republican. There's no hiding me. You know, you hear my name, Jay's name, Pick Drick, Mrs. Drick, whatever, Deb Drick, Jay Drick. We're hardcore Republicans. So if I ask you what your partisanship is and you say, oh, it's nonpartisan, that tells me you don't want to tell me, because if you're conservative and you tell me, that's a good thing. So if you're not telling me, that means you're hiding it. So someone says that to me and it's over. I'll find another candidate. That's just not going to happen. But I will tell you something. For those of you who want to know, and go read the article. It's on the rightsidenews.com, and it's the first one. And read that, and in there I give you a link, and you can go check. You can put somebody's name in and find their donations. If they've ever donated, it's there. And I use the examples of the judges. I pulled up, and I'm seeing all these, you know, Mark Gatesman has been an attorney in Livingston County for a long time. Frankly, I've known Mark for a long time. Mark is a nice guy. I like him. I do. I like Mark. He's a nice guy. But when you go and look up Mark Gatesman and the contributions, Act Blue, Livingston County Democrats, Jennifer Granholm. I mean, there's no disguising this. And I've talked to a couple Republicans that I've seen supporting him. I'm saying, you know, he's like a diehard Dem, right? Oh, but it's a nonpartisan race. I just stop. It is nonpartisan, but that doesn't mean, I mean, if you, and one person said he's a very smart guy, and he said, well, it's not like it's president. Well, judges are worse. A Democrat judge sets precedent. That starts to set statute. They're more dangerous because, I mean, a judge can be there forever. So anyway, it's just, it's very, very, it's very dangerous to elect Democrat judges, and that's just all there is to it, because they have different values than Republicans. And when they say it's nonpartisan, which is the first thing I got from me when I've told these these Republicans, that guy's a Democrat. You are supporting a Democrat. Oh, it's nonpartisan. It doesn't mean it's non-political. It doesn't mean they don't have political beliefs. It does not. Some people actually believe that once you run nonpartisan, suddenly all your partisan thoughts leave and your values change and you will never vote according to a party line. No, that's not how it works. They absolutely will. And it just, they're wearing this big mask as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, they're hiding it. They shouldn't be hiding it. It's just not the way it is. So if you ask and they don't tell you, go check this, read the article, get the link, start looking. You'll know right away. You'll know right away. I mean, you see those school board numbers. You see the school board. I used Heartland. I mean, Tricia, you'll get a kick out of this. I use Heartland as an example. Oh, you saw it when you read it. It's basically look at the minutes. Look at the issue, and it's a party line. It's exactly votes along party line. The 3 Republicans vote one way, the 4 Democrats vote another way every time, and you can tell who they are because just by the thing. Are we going to vote to let boys and girls sports? 4 yes, 3 no, whatever. It's like that. It's that obvious. So let me get to some comments here. I wish I had my little thing here. So, all right. So Randy says, I think they should announce it now and let us know who the team is. Absolutely. And Caleb says, Judge Michael Warren for Supreme. He is the Republican-sided guy. And you know how we know that? Besides knowing him, it was the Livingston County, the Michigan Republican Party that nominated him, so we know that. Matt, yes, no matter where I go, I'm proud of my conservative values. Agreed. And I know you're out down in Macomb County. I think you're in Warren, if I remember correctly. I did look. I told you, someone just talked to me about your race. Am I right, Warren? So, yes, and you would love Livingston County because you can be bright red here and fit right in. We do not pay enough attention to judges. Oh, Randy, say that 3 more times. We don't. And I tell people that, and they say, well, it's just a judge. What do you mean just a judge? They make law. They enforce, and then it becomes a precedent. And it's all you got to do is go back and say, well, that judge ruled that way. There you are. Oh boy, what fun. So, nonpartisan races, school boards. I'm still, it's still not too late to get into a school board. Just about I think every school has open seats this year. And if you're interested, Warren, yes, ma'am. Yes, see, I say I wasn't lying. I just talked about you yesterday. School board. If you're interested in school board, please, in Livingston County, please, chair at LivingstonRepublicans.com. Please reach out. Man, I could use you. We really need reasonable people. I feel like I beat the same drum every week, but you got to understand my week goes like this. People coming to me and saying, calling me, texting me, what is going on over here? What is going on there? This is awful. This is horrible. Okay, somebody needs to do something. What are you, meaning me, doing to stop this? Well, what I'm doing is I'm asking for candidates. How about you? And of course, well, I would, but all right. So I feel like, it's very, very difficult to get candidates to step up. Once they step up, though, they're always glad they did. They make such a difference. So if anybody's interested in we'll help you. If you're conservative, we'll help you. We'll help you get elected. We'll teach you how to do a campaign. We'll help you. We'll add you to our mailing. We'll help you. So please consider school board. It's not too late. Get on. Every single school in the county has open seats this year. So please let me know. All right. So that is that. We have. So tell me, just throw some ideas out there for what we can do. While I'm talking, I'm going to try and find the next flyer. We have, and I'm going to have, once I get past Brian's event tomorrow, I'll have more time to start this. But we have podcast picks. Look at that one. Let's see if that's there. We have July 8th is our big, and of course it's not on here. July 8th, we have our big event. Oh, I don't want that up there. We have our big event for Doug Lloyd and Anthony Ferlini at the Wilson Estates Winery. If you're watching someone like Russ Jennings from Jackson, if you're out there, or sometimes Kat Dobus watches, anyone from another party, if you want to help with this, all we want you to do is donate an appetizer and promote it. So Roscommon was watching earlier. If you're still on Roscommon, love to have you part of the big, we have, I think, 10 or 11 counties and districts that are joining together to put this event on for Doug Lloyd and Anthony Ferlini. It's $100 a person, divided in half, $50 to Doug, $50 to Ferlini. But we can hold, it's July 8th. And it is going to be a great event. So you can go to the Livingston County Republican Party's page. You can look for my page. Or you can look, and these other counties will have it too. But after tomorrow, I will have a permanent with a QR code and everything on. Like I said, everything is geared toward Brian for tomorrow. But that is going to be a whopper of an event. So what is going on with? I have not gotten anything solid. Anybody on there, Roscommon or Russ or Randy, anybody know what's going on with, or Chris Long, if you're out there under some name I don't know, would you please tell me what is going on with the conventions? When are we supposed to have a convention? I need to look into that. That's, just more problems. I just detest that I have to keep having conventions. It's just awful. So, we have to, I know we have to do one right after the primary, but I need to know what the date is, or if it's, like a ballpark or whatever. So if somebody can answer that, that'd be great. But we're going to have to do a convention. We have a state convention is August 22. Thank you, Patty. When does the counties have to have theirs? When was that? Also, I was told something. So county before that, yes, I get. But there's supposed to be a date. I just don't know what that date is. I've heard August 11th, but I don't know if that's in stone or if that was just kind of out there. So thanks, Patty. So I've also been told that we're supposed to notify all the current delegates and all the ones that are on the ballot. Why would I notify all the current delegates, since they're not, there's no guarantee. I would only nominate the ones that are on the ballot, wouldn't I? I don't understand that. Okay, here's convention in Mount Pleasant. The policy committee's actually meeting right now. Okay, all right, so we'll find out. Patty, explain to me, why do I have to notify both? I have to notify everybody on the ballot. I get it, but why would I have to notify the people before the primary? Those people they're not going to be on unless they're on the ballot. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So maybe there's something I'm missing. Yeah, I was told you have to notify all your current delegates and you have to notify the delegates on the convention. I know. Okay, so Patty says, just so you know, Patty says, calls to convention go out before the August primary, so you don't know who the elected delegates will be. Correct. Here's what I do know. I know who they won't be. The current ones, unless they are on the ballot, they will not be. So not the current. Okay. All right. So I don't have to do the current. Right. It's just the ones on the ballot. All right. Now we're on the same page. Good. All right. Because I thought, why would I nominate the current? Because what if they're not on the ballot? Then there's no chance they'll be there. So anyway, I will notify the people on the ballot. Right. Okay. We're on the same page. Good. Here's Patty's response. Good. We're on the same page. And they're nominating right now. So it looks like August 11th, I have to have a convention. So I got to get my convention team, and we're going to go that. I have some calls I have to make. I did kind of put out some calls today, so I'm going to look at that. No, say not existing, just new ones. Right. With a disclaimer that only the elected can vote. Correct. I don't think I have one single. I have we kind of adjusted our numbers this year, adjusted our stuff, and I don't think we have one precinct with more delegates than openings. I think every delegate that was on the books is going to get nominated, elected. So I have to go back and check, but I believe that for us it's going to be okay. So that works. Well, good. All right. Well, I appreciate that. But August 11th, Roscommon, that is the date. August 11th. Is that? Do we have to have it by August 11th, or is that the date we have to have it on? That's a big, because that for us is, I think that's a Tuesday, is it not? Let me see here. Why do I not get a date? I have a calendar here. So hold on here. August 11th is on a Tuesday. Great. So we miss primary night podcast because it's a Tuesday, and then we miss this because it's a Tuesday. Okay. Well, that's all right. I guess we have a lot of stuff to do. So, all right, so, yeah, I know, Patty, it's usually a Thursday, but August 11th is a Tuesday this year. Lucky me. I like it being a Thursday. Thursdays are great. That's our political night, so it works just fine. But in this particular case, the 11th is a Tuesday, so that kind of stinks. Hi, Brian. We were just talking about you. We're talking about your big event tomorrow. I went to Wilson Estates today and figured out where we're going to put what and who's going to be where and everything else, so we're all set for that. And so Brian is, just remember, we were just talking about Brian. There's Brian. Brian's smile is very much like that grin right there too. He always has a great big smile on his face. So yeah, so he's coming. That's coming along very well. We're all set with that, and it's going to be nice. I don't think it's going to rain. I think we checked lots of signs coming in. All right, good. So we have. I'm going to also do a challenge. We have this event coming up tomorrow. So I also want to do something called Adopt a Sign. Okay? So signs cost, I will start it next Tuesday. I'm going to have sign cost up there, and we'll have some sign bids. Everybody can pay for a sign. You can tell me what you want to pay for, and we'll get a sign. You can pay for one sign for Brian. If everybody does that, we're going to be fine. That'll be great. So Brian, we'll handle this for you. Yeah, okay. And Matt and Brian, meet Brian if you know each other. So there we go. Both of you guys are running, so good luck to both of you. So what else is going on? What else is going on in the world? Going on in the state? It will. Thanks, Matt. It will. It absolutely will. This place is beautiful. Matt, we have as I said a minute ago, we have the July 8th, Anthony Ferlini and Doug Lloyd. Oh God, if I hesitate with his name, he'll reach through the camera and slap me. Doug Lloyd and Anthony Ferlini. We're having their event on July 8th. We'd love to see you there. So you'll adopt a sign for Brian. All right, Karen, I will call you, and I will, once I get the prices. So next week we'll remember, and I'm going to have a big challenge. We're going to have a big adopt a sign for Brian. So, all right. We'll thank you, Brian, or thank you, Karen, for being our first adopter. We will be doing those starting next week. It'll be fun. We're going to have a good time with that one, Brian, and you're going to end up with a bunch of signs. So, so let's see what else. What else is going? So we're down some candidates. So we're down to Perry, we're down to Mike, we're down to John, and we're down to Mike, Perry, John, and Eric. Eric has been here, Mike has been here, John has not been here, and Perry's not been here. I've reached out to Perry several times, told him pick a Tuesday, haven't heard. John came to our event, our Lincoln Day, and by the way, I was poking Vance, Neener, he came to mine, not yours. I'm just joking. But John came to our event, and then I was a guest of Representative Gina Johnson at Kent County's Lincoln Day party, and John walked across the room and said hi to me and said, we just loved we had a great time at your event. You had a great event, and then I kind of said, okay, it is the for the 1100th time, I've asked you to be on the podcast. I never get any response. So I'm going to ask you one more time. I'm asking you to your face. And he dragged me over to a woman and said, get her the information and I will come on the podcast. So I said, okay, it just never got to them, right? And that's the one. Have you guys seen the news where she used a fake quote, or there was a fake endorsement or fake quote used for John James, and they blamed her and they fired her? So now I have no access to John James anymore. So it's everybody, every time I get this close, boom, there it goes. So let's see. Kelly, hi Kelly. This is the Michigan Republican Party's chair of chairs. She is the Kalamazoo chair, and we have all elected her to be the chair of chairs, and she does a great job at it. And she keeps us all informed and keeps us in line and gives us information and helps us share ours. So she's doing a fantastic job, and she's not doing exactly what she does. She's sharing the information. Yes, they want to be on Tuesday the 11th. That stinks for this because that's 2 Tuesdays in a row I have no podcast. But so let me ask you, Kelly, does it have to be on that date, or could I do it, for example, Monday the 10th, where I don't have a podcast, as long as it's after the primary and before the 11th? I'm just because, like I said, that's so hard for us. You know them well. Great respect for them both. July 8th, my son will be born, but I can still donate. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, fine. We understand if you're going to be picky about things. Congratulations on your son in advance. And we're just looking for a great event. That's going to be great. So, if she takes a nice nap and your son takes a nice nap and you want to go out and pass out cigars, well, by golly, we got the place for it. So, anyway, so we're looking forward to that event. That's going to be great. So we got Brian's event tomorrow. Y'all come, and we've got the Lloyd and Ferlini event on the 8th. More on that, like I said, as soon as I came back from vacation, and like 90% of my day is now focused on Brian's event tomorrow. So I am running with that. So, and we're doing quite well there. That's gonna be a fun event. And like I said, so starting next week, we're gonna have the big challenge, the Brian Sign-a-thon. Brian, you like that Sign-a-thon? I love it. So, what else we got going? Kelly, what's new from Michigan Republican Party? Tell us what's new. Matt, you're right. She is doing an amazing job. She is terrific. She keeps everything moving. We get common sense from her, and we get follow through and follow up, and that's something I've had a hard time getting from anyone anywhere. So I got to tell you something. I've always been very much a Livingston County political person. I've worked for legislators in different areas, many of them, and I've gotten to know their areas, and of course then I pay attention to their stuff. But basically, I'm a Livingston County person. I know the Livingston County political field. I know the players. I know who does a hard-nosed Republican job. I know who doesn't. But I understand I'm a county person. I'm a county party person. I know the county party. I've supported. My big thing was candidates, get them elected, get them trained, get them elected, especially at the local level. I'll help a state rep candidate or state senate candidate all day long. I put a lot of time into, helping out over the last months and helping out Doug Lloyd. But my real passion is those township supervisors, the township clerks, the township trustees, the school board members, that they need help. And I think oftentimes the help is given to the higher races in those, entry-level races or the smaller races. They get ignored. So I made it a point to really put some time into training them. And so to me, that is very, very, very important. So, so I've never really dabbled outside. I've never dabbled into district politics. I've never dabbled into state politics. I have no interest in being in a state committee. I have never wanted to be, as far as the district committee, I have been on EC boards and off EC boards, and I have done my own thing, and I've done things with the party. All depends, it's personalities and things like that. And I have no interest in competing for anything. So somebody wants my help, I'll give it to them. And if they don't, that's right, I'll do it on my own. I'm just okay with that. But over the last year and a half, I've gotten to know many of the district, the district too, the district people, but I've also gotten to know many of the other county chairs. And I have to tell you, I am really impressed with many of the chairs that I have met. They are hardworking, they're intelligent, but more importantly, they're willing to share their expertises, they're willing to share their thoughts, their ideas, they're willing to share their issues and look for solutions. I have gotten to know Kelly. She does a bang up job in Kalamazoo. She's very good at. She's amazing at getting. I want her to adopt her over here. Can you please start my youth group over here? We've struggled. So that is, something we've struggled with. We have a great candidate, as we all know. We have great candidate support here, great candidate training. So that's our, that's one of our superpowers. But one of her superpowers is that the youth and the excitement, and she's got a bunch of superpowers, but that's just one of them. And then I've gotten to know, Rusty Richter in Kent, who can, who's the god of all fundraisers, whoosh, there it goes. I make a call, I need 100,000, whoosh. But he's also really good at running things. He, really good at seeing the big picture. And Vance Patrick also has the right people in the right places and, lets things move. I've been able to bounce some ideas off of him and Rusty and Kat Dobis over in Wayne 12th. And I'm just kind of getting the ideas. I'm kind of understanding that Wayne County's mess over there. It's like the district this and the county. Anyway, they have like one county chopped up into 17 different ways. So I don't understand how it really works, but I have met many of the people and I really like them. And I love Jessica Toth from the Toth or Toth, I don't know, but from the District 12, the Congressional District 12. So you got Wayne 12 and that one. And I love Kat, and she's wonderful, and her husband Chris, who's running for state rep, is wonderful. I've met Marcy Griswitz from Downriver there, and she's a council member that's running for state senate, and she's amazing. She has a video that I watched today talking about how she got started. She started out as a crack baby and she went through the foster system and then got adopted and then had married an abuser and got out of a domestic violence situation and then married again and put herself through nursing school. And she's got an amazing story. And I'll tell you, somebody like that, you want in office because they've done it. They have been around they have been through. With somebody that goes through that stuff, they have no fear of anything else. They're made of steel, So anyway, but I've really gotten to know a lot of candidates and a lot of county people, and I'm just really impressed with how Ben Myers from St. Joe, and he's the 5th district chair. I love him. He and I'm going to bring it up at our July meeting. We're going to see if we can't do like a partnership with St. Joe, kind of like a sister chapter kind of thing, brother chapter, however you want to say it, where we kind of, visit each other and help each other. I mean, we can learn from each other. Ben is a terrific guy, and he came out to our Lincoln Day and he spent the evening with us, and it was just great. I really, really like him, and I can pick up the phone and call and bounce ideas off of him. So that's a long way of saying, thank you to Kelly for her talking, and these county chairs that Ross Jennings, bouncing ideas off of him, it's just been very, very good, and I really love it when the other county chairs pop in and say hi. Kelly saying hi like that, and Russ Jennings always comes in and says hi from the birthplace of the Republican Party, Jackson, which is great, and I love when that happens. Ross Common, I'm really glad you popped in and said hello. It just is, it's great when I see other, and in many ways, we're really shoring each other up. These Kelly puts on a once a month chair call, and we're able to talk about, things. Patty, yeah, local, right? That's why you started the club. Yes, so it is luck. It is luck. Yeah, Russ and Kelly are fantastic. They really are. And I met Russ when he called me and he said, "Hi, I'm the chair of Jackson. I want to know if I could put a link. I love your podcast, and can I put a link to your podcast on our website?" Why, yes, you may. And he's been out here on my podcast, and I've been there on his. And it's, I like Russ a lot. And so, Russ, please, if you're watching this, or if you watch this in the morning, don't forget Brian's fundraiser tomorrow. You get one township of him. So, and I also saw Brian. I saw Tom Chambers pushing your event out, and he RSVP'd today for he and his wife coming. So, and he's also pushing your event. So. I did write him and tell him you're not running for Congress, though. So we had you running down for, he's our congressional candidate. Oh dear, does Mr. Barrett know? So anyway, that's terrific. So anyway, I've really gotten to know. I still have no interest in state politics. I mean, state political party or district political party, but I've gotten to know the district people as well. Dan Shifko, I like Dan, and Dan and I get along just fine. I love Mary Ann, we have two of our best members, our most dedicated and experienced members now serving over there that just joined there. Our representation from Livingston County over there is, besides Dan and Mary Ann, our Doug Hines from the city of Howell, Norris Hardiman, who's our vice chair now, Sharon Lolio, and Paul Funk. They're now our district reps, so they're doing a great job. Anyway, so I've really gotten to know, and I have no desire to run either one of them or even getting in there. But Kelly knows she can call me at any time and say, "Hey, I need something." Okay, there it is. And so I'm willing to help. So but they're all willing to help like that. So I really can't say enough about our county. All right, so back to Matt over here. In some local news, he'll be interviewed on a podcast by Veterans for a Better Michigan. Oh, is that the one that Cindy Holland and Londa Gatt? Is that okay? South Lyon. SLAR's having an event for Congressman Barrett on September 26th, 10 to 12, in place of the Pumpkin Fest parade. The parade is canceled. Darn those people. You have a picnic coming up. Do you have that flyer? If you can send me the flyer real quick. Chair at livingstonrepublicans.com. I'll post it. Okay. I'll post it up. But yep, you guys are having a picnic too pretty soon. So yeah, it is my goal. I know that we've all been so busy, but I think past the election, I think next year I want to make a real big habit, providing him, whether if I'm still chair, I want to make a big push to partner a lot more to know the South Lyon group, and they're really a great group as well. So Kelly's wonderful, and I've gotten to know Janice a little bit better, and I really like her. So yep, it's a good thing, and I've also gotten to know, as we were talking, I've been out to Wayne 12th a couple of times. Not Wayne 12th, the 12th congressional district. They've asked me to come out and speak on different stuff we're having. Okay, also, please write down the next 10X training is June 21st. Go to Livingston Republican Party, Livingston County Republican Party Facebook, and you'll see the flyer. Get the Zoom. Sign up. The 10X is so important. We need people on there. If you haven't taken that training, it's less than a half an hour. It's free. Nobody needs your credit card. Nobody needs anything but your phone number and your address, and they only need that so they can show you the voters in your area that you may know. But we'll get into that. So June 21st is the next 10X. So okay, well, So one of the things we're going to do, I was talking to Paul Funk, who's our admin director at the party here. And, you know, I was talking about the articles that I write. I have a lot of people, you know, call me or email me, whatever, and tell me that the articles I write are informative. They're not just to spew my opinion. It is to explain things that lots of people don't know, but because I've worked in the area, I understand, you know, the roles that different things play. And for example, what does nonpartisan mean? What does it really mean? And where's the lines drawn? Read the article. It's on therightside.news.com. And, you know, I have another one about what negative campaigning does. And I have another one about dumb things that candidates who lose do that they shouldn't do. If you lose a race, don't do any of these dumb things. I have an article about what is more important, electing somebody who can win or electing somebody, you know, that you like. But one of these are all practices that I've, you know, in my many years of doing campaigns or working with candidates that I have learned. And so I just thrown these things out for people. And, you know, hopefully some people find them informative and interesting, and I'm glad. But we're going to start emailing them out now. As I write them, they're going to go, Paul suggested that we put them on I called him and I said, look, I want to start emailing these off. See you, Matt. Good. Thanks for popping in. I'm going to start emailing these things out. I called Paul and I said, Paul, get this out. It just is going to help people. It is not self-promotion because I don't make any money on doing this. I just do it. There's no money in it for me. You just read it. You'll find it helpful. So anyway, so we're going to put it out. We're going to start mailing these articles out when they come in, at least if it's in general interest. And then he's going to put the archives on the Livingston County website. So, you know, that's another place you can read, or he'll put links to those articles. So, you know, hopefully you read them and hopefully they're helpful. I try to write things that kind of explain something, you know, the backside to things. What does it really mean for this? So anyway, I hope everybody reads it and I hope it finds it helpful. So anyway, all right. Well, I think we're going to probably call it a night here. I think we've gotten some interesting things. Thanks, Matt, for showing up. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Trish. I got everybody else. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Ross Common. Thanks, Caleb. I got a guy from England. Who knew? And I think that's it. So if I haven't brought you up there, if you've commented and I haven't brought you up, oh, and thanks, Jay. If I haven't brought you up, but you've commented, that means I'm not seeing it. I show every single comment. So there are different ways to watch. You can watch from Rod. You can watch from my personal Facebook. You can watch from YouTube, and you can watch from Livingston County Republican Party Facebook page. So if you're writing things up there and I am not bringing them up, that's because I didn't see it. So it means it wasn't there. So let's see. It was a guy from England. It was Brick on a Rant. He's a bricklayer on a rant. He was a guy from England. He said he was, unless that was you. So, Candy, hi Candy, how you doing? I'm glad you enjoy it. Candy is Candy was she was one of our winners in I don't want to say winners, I guess honorees. We have honorees at the Lincoln Day every year. I honor people, you know, volunteer of the year and that sort of thing, and Republican of the year. And I created a new serious heavy duty award called the Frank Sample Conservative Commitment Award. And it's basically kind of like what you would consider the Lifetime Achievement Award. And Frank has to award it from now on. So he thought he was going to. I gave him all the other awards already. He thought he was going to get off scot-free this time. Nope, got him. So anyway, Candy won our what was that? Sunshine Service Award or something like that. Just, I think that's what did we call it? Sunshine Service, I think. But basically that she's always willing to help anytime we ask. So I just appreciate Candy. But she is running for Genoa Township Clerk. So everybody should know that. So anyway, let's see what we got here. I can't get you off there, Candy. Get off. I can't get you off. There we go. What do you mean a guy? It was a guy from England. His name was Brick on a Rant. One word, Brick on a Rant. So, and I should have known he was from England because he called me Love. He said it's pronounced this way, Love. And I thought, Love? What does that mean? And I am stuck. Hang on. All right. No hide. All right. That should do it. So anyway, so glad you're here. You came in just in time for us to sign off. So unless anybody else has got to give you a second to think of anything else you want to talk about or ask about. Anybody got any questions? I should say that. Chat with a chair should be questions with a chair too. It should be ideas for the chair. We are not, unfortunately, going to be at Pinckney Food Truck Friday this week. We had it set for the third Friday of June, July, and August. That's what it's been. Some reason it's now the second, and everybody made plans for the second. So we just can't do it. So we're not going to be at this one, but we will be at, because we've got the dates now for July and August. We will be at July and August. So if you're able to help out for a couple hours, it's like noon to 9, and it is the, hang on, I'll give you the dates. So let's see. Where is Rick Bowden? Yes, it is July 17th and August 21st. So apparently in July and August, it's still the third Friday. So Friday, July 17th and Friday, August 21st. Food Truck Friday in Pinckney. They have food trucks. They have bands. I'm kind of bummed I'm missing this week because they have Magic Bus. And boy, I love 60s music. So bummer. Anyway, but Brian Ignatowski will be out there. So if you want to go out and say hi to him, and other candidates and things will be out there. So, but next month we'll have both the Republican Party will have a booth, and of course Bunny Seasoning will be there. The Bunny will be there with all her goodies. Matter of fact, Brian asked that he get his tent next to mine so he can have I have always a bunch of pre-samples. Brian's always happy to take some of those samples home with him. So anyway, all right, nothing else. So if we're going to have nothing else, we're going to call it a night. Good talking to everybody. Good seeing everybody. Welcome back. Next week, I'm going to surprise you. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next Tuesday, because I don't think we have anything else this week. Next Tuesday right here. All right.